Good afternoon all. എൻ്റെ പേര് അജി കുര്യാക്കോസ്. ഞാൻ ഖത്തറിൽ കേരള ബിസിനസ് ഫോറം എന്ന എൻ്റർപ്രണേഴ്സിൻ്റെ ഒരു കൂട്ടായ്മയുണ്ട്. And we've been an official organization which has been approved by the Embassy of India. And we represent the business owners in Qatar on the various fronts. So we have our members from the large to small to medium enterprises. If we recall the names, for example, like the companies like Lulu Group and all are our members, to the smaller number of people. And Middle East in demography, you know that more than 30% of the total population is Indians. And fortunately, our Indian entrepreneurs are controlling the business to a large extent, primarily in the retailing segment as well. In all the segments and including the retail segments. We have large players like Lulu Group and people like that, and we have smaller players who are the retailing, importing and many things. Now, what we could, thank you very much Grant Thornton, because again they've been our knowledge partners for many of our events. They've been instrumental in many of our investment plans so far, and all our people are like very grateful for the support what you've been giving us all the while. So we are here to hear from you what exactly are the opportunities. There are two ways we could really plan ourselves. Number one, we could support in terms of finding new markets for you, and at the same time ഇവിടെ കാപ്കോ അടക്കമുള്ള നല്ല ഇതേപോലെയുള്ള പ്രവർത്തനങ്ങൾക്ക് we will be able to make sure that അവർക്കൊരു കൈത്താങ്ങി കൊടുക്കുവാനായിട്ട് basically by actively involving in the projects, that's something which we can do. And more than that, we've been understanding that a lot of startups happening. ഈ സ്റ്റാർട്ടപ്സുകൾക്ക് if there is it's properly vet and been given, we can even introduce them to our people over there. കാരണം മിഡിൽ ഈസ്റ്റിൽ ഒരു പ്രത്യേകത എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ many of us has to come back, and many of us are very keen in investing in the state, leaving all the ambiguities aside, which I don't want to touch that part. That's what we are doing. Thank you.
Good afternoon. First of all, thank you for Capco and GT for giving me this opportunity. എൻ്റെ പേര് കിമി അലക്സാണ്ടർ. ഞാൻ KBF വൈസ് പ്രസിഡൻ്റ് ആണ്. ഞങ്ങൾ GT ആയിട്ട് വി ഹവ് വർക്ക്ഡ് ഫോർ 2 days ആസ് പത്മാജി സെഡ്. അപ്പം ഞങ്ങളിപ്പോൾ വന്നിരിക്കുന്നത് ടു സീ ദ ഓപ്പർച്യൂണിറ്റീസ് നമ്മുടെ ഒരു ഫോറം ആസ് എ കളക്റ്റീവ് ഓർ ഇൻഡിവിജ്വലി ഇൻവെസ്റ്റ്മെൻറ്റ്സ് ഇൻ ഇന്ത്യ. അപ്പോൾ ബേസിക്കലി ഓക്കെ, ഐ ആം ഓൾസോ എൻ എക്സ്പോർട്ടർ. എനിക്ക് ഖത്തർ ബിസിനസ് ഉണ്ടെങ്കിലും ഐ ഹാവ് മൈ ഫാക്ടറി ഇൻ കോയമ്പത്തൂർ, സോ ഐ ആം എക്സ്പോർട്ടിങ്. സോ ഐ തിങ്ക് ദർ ഇസ് ലോട്ട് ഓഫ് ഓപ്പർച്യൂണിറ്റീസ് ഇൻ ഇന്ത്യ. അപ്പോൾ ബേസിക്കലി ലൈക്ക് ഇപ്പോൾ ഇവിടെ വന്നപ്പോൾ തന്നെ 2-3 സ്റ്റാർട്ടപ്പ് കമ്പനീസിനെ ഞങ്ങൾ മീറ്റ് ചെയ്ത്. അപ്പോൾ ഇറ്റ്സ് എൻ ഡിഫറെൻറ്റ് ലെവൽ. ഇപ്പോൾ ഈ KBFൻ്റെ ഗുണം എന്താണെന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ it's like Aji പറഞ്ഞ പോലെ small to large scale and different segments. We have people in pharma, we have importers, we have in seafood people, we have in the retail chain, we have the garment segment, different segments. Appa basically I think this is a good opportunity for us to understand. And in a angle we are having KBF is planning an expo also sometime in maybe March April. Appa adil nangal ഇവിടെ നിന്നുള്ള ബിസിനസ്സുകാർ വന്നു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ യു ക്യാൻ ഷോക്കേസ് യുവർ പ്രൊഡക്ട്സ്, സേ വാട്ട് യു വോണ്ട് ടു ഷോ. അപ്പോൾ ഇറ്റ് ബി അതൊരു KBF എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ കേരള ആണെങ്കിലും ദാറ്റ് ഈസ് ഗോയിങ് ബി ഈവൻറ്റ് ഫോർ ദ എൻറ്റയർ ഇന്ത്യൻ കമ്മ്യൂണിറ്റി. അപ്പോൾ അതൊരു ഇറ്റ്സ് ഗോയിങ് ബി എ ബിഗ് എക്സ്പോ. സോ വി ആർ പ്ലാനിങ് ഇൻ ഖത്തർ. സോ എവറിബഡി ഈസ് വെൽക്കം ടു ദാറ്റ്, ആൻഡ് ഐ എം ഹിയർ ടു ഗെയിൻ മോർ നോളജ് ടു ടേക്ക് ബാക്ക്. താങ്ക് യു.
Thank you very much, Kimiji. Vijay Kumarji, who represents the Netherlands Pump Organization. Your experience in India, particularly with regard to value chains and horticulture value chains, and any success stories, Vijay Kumar.
Good afternoon, everybody, and my thanks to Grant Thornton and Mr. Padmanand and his team, and of course Capco for inviting me here. What I would like to say is basically I represent an organization called PUM, which is an organization supported by the Netherlands government, and something that is equal to the Kerala Business Forum, which is the Netherlands Employers Organization. It's an organization set up purely to help MSME companies in developing countries grow. What PUM is that it has currently we have about 1,200 experts in various fields in about 30 sectors in more than 30 countries. And all these experts offer their services voluntarily to MSMEs in developing countries. They will come over, they will spend time with you, and you don't have to pay them anything. They are consultants with experience in all over the world, in Asia, in Africa, in Latin America, and they come over uh, and help you to grow your company. It could be marketing related, it could be production related, it could be technology related, it could be finance related. So what we are doing is we help the MSMEs because they cannot afford consultants. So we get these international consultants to help the MSMEs grow. In India, we have done. In fact, India is the largest, has the largest client base for PUM anywhere in the world. This year, we did something like 86 projects. Our target was 110, but we've done 86 projects, and we're doing a lot especially in the field of agriculture, horticulture. We have done projects related to dairy farming. We have set up 11 centers of excellence in horticulture across India with the central government and the state governments. We have set up in Baramati. We have done it for vegetables. We have done for potatoes in Himachal Pradesh. We have worked in Rajasthan. In Tamil Nadu, 2 centers of excellence are coming up, especially for vegetables and fruits, one, and the another for flowers. So what we're trying to do is to help Indian companies work with, upgrade and grow because they need help, and we are a partner. PUM is a partner to help you grow in any field. In those 30 sectors. But the majority of the projects in India are related to agriculture and horticulture, and you don't have to pay anything. There's no money involved. And these experts will actually come over, and it's also a long-term thing. Once they go back, you can still, contact them through the online meetings you can have, and they will continue. And our most recent project is Tamil Nadu with TAN Choir. TAN Choir is a association of choir companies set up by Tamil Nadu government to help the choir MSMEs. Now we've just 2 weeks back in Coimbatore, we went and we have signed an MOU with TAN Choir to help the choir MSMEs with their value chain, with their technology, with their organization, and also we're going to help TAN Choir to build a center of excellence to help the choir MSME. So what we want to do is help anybody who wants to help themselves, and we love to work with cluster organizations, especially organizations that could be it could be a private cluster organization, or it could be an ecosystem, a private ecosystem. But these focused cluster organizations who want to help MSMEs in their particular sector. So I'd be happy to contact you and help you if you require this kind of help.
I'd now like to introduce my colleagues. Krishna Kumarji, even a Kochi partner runner, but also a tax expert and audit expert. And Amitji has come all the way from Hyderabad. They are to facilitate regulatory aspects of inward investment. Kimiji, I suggested that they come. So all of them are looking at inward investment into Kerala, hopefully Kerala, and also other parts of the country, but largely in Kerala. So it may be a few crores of investment to several huge investments. Defresh is think of 100 crores for the defresh for the company. I'm going to value a logistics center. So what is our experience in facilitating inward investment? Your advice on this context and experience in this context?
Sure. See, whenever NRI or any foreign investor wants to come in India, the first gatekeeper comes is we call it as a foreign direct investment policies, which is a FDI policies, and that's a first gatekeeper to understand whether we can invest freely in India. Do we need to have an Indian partner? Do we need to have a segmentation about to do that? The second point is whether you come up as a greenfield project or a brownfield projects. If it's a greenfield, you are going to set up something, then obviously there are so many housekeeping stuff which has to be seen in terms of which to go, which city you want to go. Every state government have their actually policies or some incentives, like you just mentioned about Kerala government. There are other government also which gives. Central level, there used to be a policy for agro processing unit, which is no longer there. So it's more of a state policy, which could be capital subsidy, etc. to do that. That's an important piece to do it. But when it comes to the brownfield, there is already someone there and you want to invest into that company either as a part of an equity investment or as a part of a transaction support. If it is day-to-day transaction, buying, selling, etc., that's more of a transactional piece where it's more of a commercial arrangement between the parties, because you are not getting into the company, into the risk or the reward of the company. But if you are getting into an investment, and that's where two things comes. A, how clean the structure, because you are going to put in the money tomorrow, the risk associated, if any, is going to be yours. And the most important point is how the funding structure is going to be there. Control structure is going to be there. These are pretty much important factor to do that. If I come to the agro sector, I think so in the previous session also we have heard there are FPOs. Behind FPOs you have farmers, and upward in the integration you have agro industry, food processing industry, etc. How to structure the ownership is also very, very important in entire things of doing it. As a firm, we have done enough work in this. We would be able to come up with the thought process or the structuring process in terms of control, in terms of any other risk associated, and come up with a thought process which is aligned to your thought process in terms of risk reward, as well as a recipient, whether it's an FPO, etc., how to do it. We have done quite a few things in state of Maharashtra and other states where we were able to come up with a very good structure where both the parties, the investor as well as FPOs, were all get benefited. So we'll be more than happy to support any other of your association to look forward on that front.
Mr. Kumarji, on accessing equity markets, private equity, any other advice you would like for an investor in Kerala?
Thanks, Padmanaji. Thanks to Capco. So I think Malayalam samsarikam alle both. I think right. So I'm based out of Kochi. So I know most of you here understand Malayalam. So ഞാൻ മലയാളത്തിൽ തന്നെ പറയാം. So in the question Padmanaji ചോദിച്ചത്, see നമുക്ക് എപ്പോഴും ഇവിടെ ഈ ലാൻഡ് അവൈലബിൾ ആണ്, അതിന് ഫണ്ടാണ് അടുത്ത് വേണ്ടത്. ഫണ്ട് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ പിന്നെ ദിസ് എ ഹാർഡ് വർക്ക്. ഓഫ് കോഴ്സ് ഹാർഡ് വർക്ക് ഇസ് മോസ്റ്റ് ഇമ്പോർട്ടൻറ്റ്. ദെൻ അത് കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് ക്വാളിറ്റി, ദെൻ ദ മാർക്കറ്റിംഗ്. അപ്പോൾ ഇതിൻ്റെ എല്ലാം ഒരു ചേഞ്ച്. ഇറ്റ് വാസ് ലാസ്റ്റ് സെഷൻ വാസ് ഇൻട്രസ്റ്റിംഗ്. ഇവൻ ഐ വാസ് ഓൾസോ നോ ലിസണിങ് ടു ഇറ്റ്. ആൻഡ് എല്ലാം നമുക്കുണ്ട്. ദ തിങ് ഇസ് ദാറ്റ് ഹൗ ടു മൂവ് ഫോർവേഡ്. സോ ഈ ക്യാപ്കോൻ്റെ ഒരു ഇനിഷ്യേറ്റീവ് ഇപ്പോൾ 2023 ഒക്ടോബറിലാണ് ഇത് സ്റ്റാർട്ട് ചെയ്തത്. ഇറ്റ്സ് എ വെരി ഗുഡ് ഇനിഷ്യേറ്റീവ് ഓഫ് കേരള ഗവൺമെൻറ് ഞാൻ മനസ്സിലാക്കിയത്. കാരണം അത് സക്സസ് ആയെങ്കിൽ അതിലൊരു 11 ഐ സോ ഇൻ ദ നോളജ് നോട്ട് ദർ ആർ 11 ഒബ്ജക്റ്റീവ്സ്. വൺ ഇസ് ദി അറേഞ്ചിങ് ദ ഫിനാൻസ്. സോ ഞാൻ ആ സബ്ജക്റ്റ് എടുക്കുകയാണെങ്കിൽ 4 തരം ഫിനാൻസ്. വൺ ഇസ് ബാങ്ക് ഫിനാൻസ്, ഓഫ് കോഴ്സ് വേരിയസ് ചാനൽസ് ഉണ്ട് അതിൽ. സെക്കൻഡ് എന്ന് വെച്ച് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ ഓക്കെ ഓൺ ഫണ്ട്സ്, ഓർ ഐ ക്യാൻ സേ നെക്സ്റ്റ് ഇസ് ബാങ്ക് ഫിനാൻസ്. ദെൻ കംസ് ദി പ്രൈവറ്റ് ഇക്വിറ്റി ഓർ ദി ഓൾട്ടർനേറ്റ് ഇൻവെസ്റ്റ്മെൻറ്റ് ഫണ്ട്. And the last is the listing. So listing, if you are an SME, you can list in the SME exchange, and otherwise you can list in the larger exchange. So there are large players also in this agricultural, that there are a lot of funding also coming in this sector. Unfortunately in Kerala, this is going to start now, what I understand. So significant investments, agri-tech investments are happening. There are many startups in agri-tech. So we should be proud of. Actually in Kerala also there are some startups who are investing in agri-tech. So value addition, which is another point discussed, farmer income, operating cost. The major cost is the interest cost. So the interest cost or getting the funds itself is difficult. Second is the interest cost. So everything goes by the model. If you have a business model which is I've been convincing for the investor, so definitely that is going to get a result, better valuations. And of course FPOs, Padmanand sir and the team help in the FPOs company at register ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ട്. അവർക്ക് അട്രാക്ട് ചെയ്യാം ഇൻവെസ്റ്റ്മെൻറ്റ്സ്. So it should be organized. Governance is another thing. So there are multiple opportunities, and this FPOs success ആയെങ്കിൽ I think Kerala, that's going to be a game changer. It's one of the best place to invest. Of course, cash crops ആണ് കൂടുതൽ, പക്ഷേ food cropsലേക്ക് മാറാം. We can revive the paddy. So there are many options. I think we should be positive. We should not be negative. The Capco is going to be successful. Definitely, Kerala is going to be a different ball game. Thank you.
We have Desh Ramnathji also. So Deshji, I hope I'm audible. So Deshji has been working across India, based out of Netherlands, trying to develop horti value chains and agri value chains in India. Deshji, could you just profile your experience in India in about 2 or 3 minutes initially? Yeah. Okay, till that is resolved, let's come back to the second round. So, Ajiji and Kimiji, what is your practical plan of action in the context of Capco and Kera? Not necessarily a commitment. Like, for one thing is the state government would like to do a road show in the Middle East, promote Capco and Kera and also the value chain. That is one. Second one is promoting Capco Kera options amongst your members, or KBF even investing in a project, whichever way. How do you think you could step in to contribute to this? Broadly, conceptually.
First of all, we were really, honestly, നമ്മൾ വളരെ എക്സൈറ്റഡ് ആണെന്നുള്ളതാണ് അതിനകത്തൊരു കാര്യം. ബിക്കോസ് അഗെയിൻ ആസ് വി ഓൾവേസ് സേ, കൊച്ചി കേരളം, നമ്മുടെ കേരളം, മിനിസ്റ്റർ പറഞ്ഞ പോലെ ഇവർ കൃഷിക്കാർ ദൈവമാണ് എന്നൊക്കെ പറയുന്നതിനുപരിയായിട്ട്, ഐ ബിലീവ് നൗ ദർ ഇസ് എ കൺസ്ട്രക്റ്റീവ് അപ്രോച്ച് ടുവേർഡ്സ് ഗെറ്റിംഗ് അപ് ടു നെക്സ്റ്റ് ലെവൽ. ആൻഡ് ഇഫ് ദാറ്റ് ഈസ് ഗോയിങ് ടു ബി, ഞാനിപ്പോൾ ഐ വാസ് ജസ്റ്റ് ടോക്കിംഗ് ടു മിനിസ്റ്റർ പ്രസാദ് സാറോട് സംസാരിച്ചപ്പോൾ, ഇപ്പോൾ അദ്ദേഹം കഴിഞ്ഞ വർഷം ദോഹയെ വന്നപ്പോഴും വി ഹാഡ് എ വെരി എക്സ്റ്റെൻസീവ് ഡിസ്കഷൻ ഓൺ ദ സബ്ജക്ട്. ഐ ഹോപ്പ് വി ആർ വെരി പോസിറ്റീവ് ഓൺ ദിസ് in both terms. One is in terms of investment as well as in terms of taking shares. That's one thing. But again, we are still not clear about the exact project, how it is going to be resolved. But not only Namrati Matravalla, I'm sure that the whole NRIs across the globe, along with the people over here, will be Karam if this can do a considerable change to the landscape of the agriculture state. And I was just നമ്മുടെ ആന്റണി ചേട്ടൻ ഒന്ന് കോട്ട് ചെയ്ത് പോവുകയാണ്, കേരളത്തിൻ്റെ മണ്ണാണ് കേരളത്തിൻ്റെ ഓയിൽ. And if that manna can make a big difference in terms of our products, and even I had a very lengthy discussion with Padmananji last time when he came in, and one of the biggest challenges what we face in our places is standardization of the products. ഇപ്പം നമ്മൾ അദ്ദേഹം പറഞ്ഞതുപോലെ പല കാര്യങ്ങളും നമുക്ക് അവിടെ വേണ്ടതല്ല അവിടെ കിട്ടുന്നത്, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ആ വേണ്ട ക്വാളിറ്റി അവിടെ കിട്ടാതെ വരുന്നത് കൊണ്ടാണ് പലപ്പോഴും നമ്മൾ കേരളത്തിൽ നിന്ന് എടുക്കുക, തമിഴ്നാട്ടിൽ നിന്ന് എടുക്കുകയും പല സാധനങ്ങളും ഔട്ട് ഓഫ് സ്റ്റേറ്റ് എടുക്കുകയും എല്ലാം ചെയ്തു പോകുന്നത്. അപ്പോൾ അതിനൊരു സ്റ്റാൻഡർഡൈസേഷൻ വരികയും തന്നെ ഇവിടുത്തെ പ്രോഡക്ട്സിന് കൃത്യമായിട്ട് ടാഗ് ചെയ്തത് ക്വാളിറ്റി പ്രോഡക്ട്സ് ആണെന്ന് ടാഗ് ചെയ്ത് വരികയും ചെയ്യുകയാണെങ്കിൽ ഐ എം ഷുവർ വി ക്യാൻ ഡെഫിനറ്റ്ലി വർക്ക് ഹാൻഡ് ഇൻ ഹാൻഡ് ആൻഡ് ആഡ് എ ലോട്ട് ഓഫ് വാല്യൂ ടു ഇറ്റ് in both terms of investments also.
Yeah, first of all, ഈ initiative is wonderful. കാരണം വേൾഡ് ഓവർ എടുത്തു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ the farmers are rich. If it's in the Europe, they are the farmers are the rich people. It's not the other people. Unfortunately, നമ്മുടെ ഇവിടെ കേരളത്തിൽ the farmers are not rich. So the initiative is wonderful, and whatever way, whichever way we can help, we'll be more than happy. And then talking of the road show, as we said already, ഞങ്ങൾ പ്ലാൻ ചെയ്യേണ്ട മാർച്ചിൽ ഏപ്രിൽ എക്സ്പോ, wherein whoever is interested can come and display. And we are very much keen on the equities and things. I think it's not formulated. Definitely, you'll have a good participation from our side, because end of the day, it's our country, our place, and everybody wants to come back. Thank you.
No, the centers of excellence are more with the state government and the central government. That was another part of PUM. PUM was brought in as an advisor. But our main focus is, the small and medium-sized enterprises with whom we want to work. And we also work with employers organizations, business support organizations, educational institutions, incubators, NGOs and governments. And, of course, with the individual companies that want to change, companies that want to grow, but don't know how, or require some assistance, some hand-holding, and say, hey, look, we want to do this, but we don't know the path forward, and we can't afford consultants. So that's where PUMP comes in.
Yeah. So, see, we would be more than happy to collaborate with Capco as well as to the prime investors, our guest ahead. NRI investors, yes, you are right. In terms of legal side of it, sir, it's depending upon whether you want to create your entity or whether you want to invest into, because every structure in India is a different type of structure. There is no one size fit all types of it. That has to be seen on a case to case basis. Correct. Correct. Absolutely. Now, Capco investment is 100% possible depending upon the structure of Capco, whether it's a PSU structure, etc. At times, what happen is if there is a restriction in coming into a Capco because of the government state undertaking, we can have a JV where a JV can be formed along with you, and then that JV can take care of the underlying work to be done with FPOs or any other this agriculture things. So that's one way to do it. Good part is agri sector is completely relaxed when it comes to foreign direct investments. Other than holding land, you can do anything. So if you are in the terms of value chain of manufacturing, marketing, processing, selling, all these are freely repatriable, and therefore that is there. Lease is possible. Lease for the purpose of cultivating and then getting it back is possible. But typically we have seen a structure where land portion continue to be done by FPOs, and the value chain support is given by this particular undertakings are very, very important. Yes, that's very much possible. In fact, tax laws give some sort of a tax incentives also for the cold chain. Most of the tax incentives, particularly when I talk about income tax incentive, has been withdrawn, but still on some places it's there. State government incentives are also good depending upon which state, like Kerala state has also have some, other states also have some good practices. Though there are state incentives are there in terms of capital subsidy, in terms of interest waiver, in terms some sort of a taxes waiver, etc. But ecosystem is there to support you, and we are committed. Along with Padmananji, we have already spoken in the past. We are committed to support you. We are committed to support Capco. We are committed to support all the FPOs to create that environment in which the regulatory aspect can be addressed in a more legal manner, and it becomes a win-win situation for all of us.
This FPOs, you can invest directly in FPOs also. See, 100% FDA is allowed in agriculture. So that is as per the recent, announcements. So these FPOs, if you're making a good organized FPO, so that means the business model itself, which Padmananji and team is helping. I think 30 lakh farmers in Kerala. I don't know how many FPOs. So I think if so, these FPOs can turn around. How that is actually, suppose you can chorus like a contract farming, like Reliance, Tata's, I think ITCs are all doing. There is a contract farming, but it is different model. Here, if you want to invest directly, okay, Capco investments is one side, which Amitav addressed, it is possible. Second is on directly on FPOs. Then you have control over it. Completely you have control. You can manage the whole thing, and you can extend it to other states also. Not in Kerala, because Kerala is contributing only 3% of the total GDP in agriculture. So maybe it may improve, and also organic farming, value additions. Padmananji is the right person, but I am talking from what I have seen in some companies. If you are bringing a good model, investors are there, and the profit margin and export. So the profit margin, how it can come down is that only through profit margin, how it can improve is only through foreign investments, because interest cost is very high. So, and also the crop losses and all the stuff, insurance you may get, you may not get. So the best model according to me is that after checking with Padmananji also is specialized in that, directly investing on FPOs. You create an FPO of your own, and because of the fragmented nature, correct?
Yeah,
right.
because under the KERA project, we are going to, the state government going to distribute 300 to 400 crores as matching grant for FPOs and partnerships. So you create your own meaning or control, so that you ensure you are confident of the supply chain. So retailing avade aikotte, even the production and value addition aikotte, and anything that you invest 50% grant. ഒരു 2 കോടി 3 കോടി ഒരു പോളി ഹൗസ് ഉണ്ടാക്കണം, അല്ല പാക്ക് ഹൗസ് ചെയ്യണം, 50% ഗ്രാന്റ് വേൾഡ് ബാങ്ക് പ്രോജക്റ്റിന് കിട്ടും. That is a KERA project, So KERA and Capco will be going hand in hand.
And
so
yeah, list അതിപ്പോൾ എങ്ങനെ വെച്ച് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ sir, ഇപ്പോൾ ക്രിയേറ്റ് ചെയ്ത് കഴിഞ്ഞ് മോഡൽ ക്രിയേറ്റ് ചെയ്തിട്ട് you can list it either in SME platform, and you can exit also. I'm just telling. So it is all about how organized the structure is going to be and how you are going to manage it. So then exit route on you can create more FPOs, you can become larger also. So I think that's what I feel. And sir, I think Padmananji, I think that can be worked out, right? Yeah.
absolutely. Absolutely. So once you introduce structure, you can have a team discussion with our team and then decide on the strategy or no approach, right? Good. So I think if half the team has gone for lunch. So they said lunch ipo close high. So
Thing
Haji.
before we conclude.
Yeah.
As again, I introduce ourselves. We are from the Kerala Business Forum in Qatar. And again, if there's anybody who is interested in exploring that market, and if you need any help in that market, we will not be able to help you with your business, but we'll be able to help you with connections. So we'll be able to introduce the right set of people whom you may be interested to meet. And of course, commercials, you will be doing it yourself. And we are more than glad to do that for you. Thank you.
So thank you very much.